Welcome to Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Megan Payton, and today's video is presented by BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/SteelersQL to get 25% off of all their subscription offerings. Make sure you use the code ChatSteelers to get this promotion. We'll get into all of this, but first, let's take a peek at what unfortunately resulted in the Steelers' first loss of the season. They came up short to the Raiders 26-17. And we touched on this and just kind of how disappointing this was for the Steelers. I expected them to win. And really, not only did I expect them to win, I didn't expect them to lose by this much. And it just overall didn't feel encouraging. There's a lot of things that we're going to discuss today about who to blame, what to blame, and just what happened. This is why it's called Overreaction Monday, where we break down all of the fans' reactions. But just when I look at this game as a whole, I say, hey, there's things that are in the Steelers' control that need to be fixed. And yes, there was also, like we mentioned yesterday, some bad luck, some bad injuries that just don't help you out. But these are all things that we will discuss in our Overreaction Monday. But we are on the road to 5,000 followers, subscribers. We want to keep this number up so we can keep giving you guys free Steelers content. Right now, we've got 4,242 subscribers. I know that like 80% of you that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So join the other 20%, subscribe to our channel so we can keep giving you guys free Steelers content. Before we get into our overreactions, let's take a peek at the injury update as we come into Monday. First one being TJ Watt. I wish we had a little bit more to give you guys today, but we do know that Watt left the game early with a groin injury. And, groin injuries can kind of vary. Typically, it shouldn't have to be too long. So I'm hoping that we can expect to see him week 3, but it's not clear yet. We're going to obviously keep you guys updated, though, as time goes on and we get a little bit more clarification there. The really big bummer, I think, as far as injuries goes, would be nose tackle Tyson Alualu. We are confirmed that he did fracture his ankle and he's having to undergo surgery. And this to me is just, it's hard. You know that this is going to be extended period of time that he's going to miss. Mike Tomlin even said this, like, hey, when you're dealing with a fracture, it's a chunk of time. And, Alualu posted on Instagram, he's in good spirits. This was from the hospital. He posted saying, trusting the process, trusting the plan, hoping to bounce back soon. So thoughts are with him. And obviously we're hoping that he has a speedy recovery and we'll have more of an update as far as timetable. My main goal for him is just that it's not the whole season. Hopefully we can see him more towards the later half of this season. And lastly, Deontay Johnson, he got injured the last play of the game yesterday with what appeared to be a right knee injury. Again, we're hoping this isn't anything too serious. We don't have a clear update on his status, but I don't see it being anything huge to worry about. Obviously, we'll know more probably as the week goes on, but this would be, I think, a significant loss if he had to miss some time too. And right now, the Steelers just can't deal with these injuries. This was a huge problem for this game yesterday. And I think that when you have an offense that's kind of struggling right now to kind of mesh and get things together, you need to be healthy. And yesterday, going into at the end of the second half, there were 4 starters that were out on defense. And 5, if you're not counting Tuitt, it's 5 if you're counting Tuitt, 4 if you're not. And this is a problem. To me, this is something that needs to get addressed. I don't know if it's bringing in more guys, but you've got to keep your team healthy. Like I told you guys, this video is presented by BetQL. They are the place to go. If you guys are going to be betting at all this season, whether it's football, basketball, I don't care what sport it is, but they give the best bet recommendations. You've got to go to chatsports.com/SteelersQL. Use the promo code ChatSteelers. You're going to get 25% off of all of their subscription offerings, but they give recommendations on everything from player props to over-under spreads. They have everything you need to make a smart bet. So if you're going to put your money somewhere, make sure you know where you're putting it. Use BetQL for more info. We're now going to get into our overreactions of the week. This is entering Monday. What people are saying, what fans are thinking went wrong during this game. We're going to say whether or not we think it's an overreaction or a fair reaction. But the first one is the O-line is destroying Big Ben. To me, I agree. Big Ben can only take so many hits. This is an issue, and we've talked about the O-line so much, but it's because it's such a problem, and especially when you have an older quarterback and a guy like Big Ben who has suffered injuries, you've got to protect him. He got hit 10 times yesterday. He can't do that every game. I'm telling you now, if this O-line situation doesn't get figured out, Big Ben is going to get hurt again. And we are going to be talking about who's taking his spot. So we need to get this handled. And we've looked at this depth chart. We've talked about it. But with two rookies right now, starting with Dan Moore Jr. and Kendrick Green, and I'm not here to just dog on them. They're rookies. They're trying to learn how to mesh and everything. Chukuma Okorafor, I think, needs to step up a bit. And then you have the drama of yesterday with Trai Turner getting ejected from the game for supposedly spitting on a Raiders player. And Mike Tomlin said, in his press conference that he didn't think that was necessarily a fair reaction. I think he was kind of insinuating that was Trai's reaction to actually being spit on. So those are the things we don't know exactly what happened. I'm not saying that it was an appropriate call by the refs, but I'm saying this is an area that's struggling. We can't afford any guys to be gone at this point. We need more people. So it's a problem. And I think that, yes, if that O-line situation doesn't get figured out, Big Ben is going to get hurt. Do you guys think the O-line is destroying Big Ben, though? Maybe I'm kind of overreacting. Go to the comments right now, and if you think that the O-line is destroying Big Ben, type 1 for yes, and if not, type 2 for no. Our second overreaction of the week is that Big Ben is done. This is kind of following up with the O-line and them not protecting him, but is Big Ben actually done? To me, we've got to give it some time. These conversations come up anytime an older quarterback isn't performing exceptional. And I'm not saying that Big Ben is going to be playing for 5 more years, but we need to give him some time to click with this new offense. He had a 67.5 completion percentage this week. He had 295 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception wasn't even really his fault. So I'd say we just have to see how things are going to click with him. I don't think that he's done necessarily. This might be his last year, but I don't think he's done to the point where he's getting replaced or they're bringing in a backup. Things are going to start click with the offense. And I think that Big Ben is a solid, smart guy that's been in this league for a long time. So he's going to be making the smart decisions. But what do you guys think? Is this Big Ben's last year? If you think so, type Y for yes. And if not, type N for no. And again, thank you to our presenting sponsor, BetQL. If you guys are looking for a bet tonight, maybe look at their 5-star bet recommendation. They like the over at 48.5 for tonight's game, Green Bay against Detroit. They are also doing a great deal with their sports book right now, BetMGM. If you go to chatsports.com/SteelersMGM, and if you deposit $10 into your account, bet $10, less than 24 hours later, you're going to receive a free year of BetQL. Guys, this is an insane offer. That means that you guys will get a year of free betting recommendations from the people that you want them from. So if you're going to bet, if you're going to spend your money, spend it wisely. Check out this deal that BetQL is partnering up with BetMGM. Our next overreaction is Mike Tomlin is to blame. And everyone's talking specifically about him not going for it on that 4th down, 4th and 1, less than 1. And I'll say, yeah, he should have gone for it. That to me is you've got to take a little bit of risk there. I don't even think it's that risky. I think it's almost necessary. You had 8 minutes and 37 seconds left. You're down 2 scores. You've got to trust that your offense can just get some points up. And I know you want to trust your defense, but we said, hey, these guys are out. And yes, they might be able to stop the Raiders, but we need points on the board. And you could tell Big Ben wasn't happy about this. There was a lot of negative response he got, not only from fans, but from his own players. So to me, when you're in those situations, you've got to be a little risky. This, to me, you had to go for it. I don't know, though. Who do you guys think overall is to blame for this loss? I don't think it's Mike Tomlin. I think he is to blame for not going for it on that 4th down. But I'd say the biggest blame I have is on the O-line, and I've said that multiple times, but to me, that's the most concerning area I think that the Steelers are going to have to work through this season. But go to the comments right now. Let me know who you guys are blaming. And like I said, this was just not an ideal situation. They came up short against the Raiders 26-17. They were predicted to win. I thought it was going to be not only a lot closer, but I thought that the Steelers were going to come in on top. So I'm hoping that week 3 things start to mesh a little bit and we start to see some improvement. And we hope to be giving you guys some more positive Steelers videos, but subscribe right now so you guys can stay up to date with all content Steelers. We are at 4,242 subscribers. We are trying to get to that 5,000 benchmark. Help us get there. These videos are free. It is the only thing we need from you to keep giving you guys Steelers content.